And joining us now with more on the anti-Semitic attacks against Israelis in Amsterdam is Dutch Chief Rabbi Binyomin Jacobs. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
So first of all, how are you today, and how is the Dutch Jewish community feeling in the aftermath of Thursday's attacks?
Well, it's all difficult to speak for everybody, but there is a shock on one side, on one hand. On the other hand, I think people continue. And what happened is unacceptable. Unacceptable. On the other hand, we have to realize that government is very, very protective, calling, approaching us, uh, telling us we should not worry. And I believe this. I don't think, what happens is unacceptable. It's not something, I'm not surprised about it. I'm already calling, telling, warning during 10 years that anti-Semitism is growing and growing and growing. And before September 7, October 7, there was already a lot of anti-Semitic issues in Holland. That's growing and growing. So we had to be aware of this. Now, 7th October was a reason to make the anti-Semitism more visible. And I knew that, this football match, of course, would be will something happen. What? I didn't know. But the police was very, very alert. I was in the Portuguese synagogue where was the yearly memorial for the Kristallnacht. The amount of policemen, police cars surrounding this was amazing, amazing. Afterwards, I went to my car, in the car park, and the whole time someone was walking behind me because of the shock. Who is this? I'm alert. Was when I went into the garage, Erev Tov, yeah, someone came special from police walking behind me till I was in my car. So they are very, very protective. And what happened before the match is understandable. It's always like that. But it is a little source of anti-Semitism. During the match, it was quiet, nothing happened. And then afterwards, that was unexpected and very difficult to control. Yeah, everywhere people are joining, but we have to be very careful and not to exaggerate all these things also. I'm not saying what happened is acceptable. No way. And there's now, at this very moment, there will be coming week an investigation by a neutral organization. I spoke this morning with very high people in government, and they all, we have to know what happened. Was it organized or was it spontaneous? And what can we do about it? The problem is, I always say education, education, education. But let's say in the high school, yeah, you can give education better, of course, but under the little children. But the biggest problem is the home, the houses. What do the parents tell their children about Jews? And I'm speaking now not about the regular Dutch people, but the newcomers. Yeah, they are the problem.
And I want to ask you, because you've referenced the Holocaust, you've referenced Kristallnacht. Prime Minister Netanyahu has compared the attacks to Kristallnacht in Nazi Germany, and there certainly are parallels, Jews being hunted down and attacked in the streets of Europe. Yet the Jewish community at that time remained largely blind to the threat, opting to remain in Germany, and we all know, of course, what happened to them. Do you think that perhaps this is also the case today, that Jews in Europe are ignoring the warning signs once again?
Yes and no. I hope what's very important, that the Jewish people should realize that anti-Semitism hasn't gone; it's getting stronger and stronger. But there's a big difference between the time from the Kristallnacht and the Shoah, because the government is not anti-Semitic. It could be they don't agree with the politics in Israel. What I, I regret. I mean, who are they? Yeah, but on the other hand, absolutely, they are not anti-Semitic. I know a lot of them personal, and also the lefties who are very in favor of the Palestine, of a second state for the Palestine, etc., etc. They are not anti-Semitic. But the difference between anti-Zionist, anti-Semitic is getting becoming the same. It's very difficult. So, but my worry, you can't compare. Do I think we have to leave here, leave Holland? First of all, I will stay till like a captain on a ship. He has to leave the ship the last. Is a situation a very pleasant situation? Not at all. Should the Jewish people in Europe be aware of this? Sure. Yeah, and I agree. A lot of people denied what's going on. No, there's no anti-Semitism today anymore. There is. Because anti-Zionism, anti-Semitism is for the people exactly the same. So, but nevertheless, you can't compare it completely. I also don't think it's right to call it a pogrom. A pogrom is organized by government or by the church, and they say, and that day you're going to attack Jews. There was no connection between government and what happened, and perhaps they didn't act very well. The police, I don't know, but that's an investigation. And if the mayor of Amsterdam, I know personally, she's absolutely not anti-Semitic. Yes, he's a lefty. Yeah, but he's not anti-Semitic. If they did wrong, they didn't deal with it in the way it should have been, could be, but yeah, perhaps he's not a strong organizer for such events. That could be, but not anti-Semitic. And as long as we have a government what is absolutely not anti-Semitic and cares about their Jewish people and wants them to stay here, as long that's going on, I don't think we have to leave Holland.
Rabbi Jacobs, thank you so much for joining us today and speaking about this important issue.
Thank you.